Hello there, Giovanni here at Frap Tools with another live patching session. So I picked the 3 random techniques from our website and I use them as a starting point to create a musically meaningful patch. So let's first jump in the future and see what I will come up with in the next half an hour. So today's picks are the fake analog AND, which is a technique for Falistri's four-quadrant multiplier, the kick drum number 1, which is another Falistri technique, and the Usta polyrhythm number 1. I think that we can start from the Usta polyrhythm because it is the most tedious one to set up, and once we get that out of the way, we can add some spice through Falistri. So Usta polyrhythm, I'm gonna create a new track, so new. Uses 2 tracks, which I can clock either internally or externally, playing the same exact sequence. So I'm gonna speed up the video until I come up with something interesting. Okay, so now I must set the 2 gate tracks, track 1 and 2, and use them to trig 2 separate envelopes that I will use to control the corresponding oscillator's amplitude. Example like this, and like this. I set the 2 generators to hold so that I can use longer gates if I need, and the time scale to long, and I can play with the waveform. Like this. And now the cool part, basically I want to play with a different ratio of the 2 tracks, which can be, for example, 2 to 3. I can even play it faster. Can bring in some reverb. And perhaps set track 2 to a higher octave. But now I can move on to the other technique, which is a bit easier, which is Falistri's kick drum. Now, Falistri kick drum uses the green generator as an LFO, as an oscillator, like it is already doing, and the green and the yellow generator with a very sharp transient. I'm gonna demonstrate it by patching its output, the green output here, and taking off the envelope. So what I will do is use the yellow attenuated output to control the green oscillator's pitch. It was set to LFO, I need it faster, and I need this to be slower. Reasonable kick drum. And now if I patch the 4-quadrant multiplier output, I will also have control over the amplitude. Something like this, which is okay, but unfortunately I ran out of channel for this very small setup here, and I can no longer I can't blend the two signals together since in one channel, since I need them to be articulated by two different waveforms. Otherwise I would lose the whole point of the polyrhythm. But you see, the CGM is a versatile beast, and as you can see, I am using the reverb, but I have a one spare effect return here. And if I want my channel to be dry, if I want my kick drum to be dry, which is of course the case, I can patch it here. And I can set, for example, another track which is running in 16th. I can start with a very simple 4 on the floor pattern here from track 3. Sounds legit. But I also had another patch to fit, which is the fake analog end, and for that I need a 4-quadrant multiplier, which is here. Now, the fake analog end uses... I need the gates, I need a lot of gates. So for example, I can set my track, my gate B of track 1 and gate B of track 2 there. I want to make them roughly the same length. Now, let's see what happens. So if I patch the two gates, so I have this one here and this one here, I'm gonna patch them in red so they match the color. The whole point is that the 4-quadrant multiplier multiplies two signals patched to these inputs here. Now, since both of them are bipolar, it means that by default the 4-quadrant multiplier outputs 0 volts, and if both of them are positive, if one of them is still at 0, the other is multiplied by 0, so nothing is gonna happen. But if both of them are positive, we will have an output, which of course won't match the exact multiplication because it will exceed the circuit limit. Still, we have a circuit that outputs a gate high signal only during the time where both of these inputs are high. And you can see that we are using only one quadrant because we are working with two positive signals. And if I patch it, perhaps here, I'm gonna take this off. See? And if I remove one gate, I can use it to modulate the symmetry, or I can use it to modulate other parameters. For example, the reverb send, or to gate the reverb. can even patch it to the slew limiter and obtain an envelope with a rhythm within a rhythm, which I can and if I set it to pre-fader mode, I have this envelope, which is the fruit of my fake analog end, controlling my reverb send, which also can be seen as a third melody. Bring in the kick, and let's try our sequence from scratch. Let's see if I can transpose my track one. I think yes. And I think that we can cap it here for today. I hope you had fun, and I will see you next time. If you want to share this idea based on the same techniques or another one, please feel free to use the Frap ideas hashtag so that we can take a look at what you came up with.